New travel restrictions announced. In this video, we will talk about Canada's new restrictions for travelers. Justin Trudeau, Canadian Prime Minister, has announced stricter rules to control coronavirus risks in Canada. Canada's government is executing new coronavirus rules for incoming travelers. The announcements were made on the 29th of January 2021 by Justin Trudeau, and comes after numerous weeks of pressure from many Canadian provinces to execute stricter travel restrictions. From next week, international flights can only land in Calgary, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. Inbound travelers will be required to take COVID-19 polymerase chain reaction test upon arrival, and will be required to stay in a hotel designated by the federal government at their own expense for 3 days, while waiting for test results. Justin Trudeau mentioned that the projected cost of this to travelers is $2,000 Canadian dollars. If the COVID-19 test result is negative, travelers will then be required to quarantine at home for a total quarantine period of 14 days, 11 days at home, and 3 days at the hotel. Those who get a positive test result will be required to stay at an assigned government facility. Justin Trudeau further announced that all travelers coming to Canada from the United States land border will be required to be tested upon arrival and show a negative test. In recent times, international travelers to Canada have become more of a concern, given the latest development of more contagious variants of the coronavirus, especially in the United Kingdom, South Africa, and Brazil. The latest restrictions will be put in place to reduce travel to safeguard the health of Canadians, particularly during the approaching spring break. Not long ago, Trudeau has requested Canadians to cancel any upcoming non-essential travel they may have scheduled. He also proposed the government thought through numerous additional measures, for example the obligation of swift testing at airports on returning travelers, and obligatory regulated quarantine at specific assigned hotels, at the traveler's expense. A number of individuals are excused from these travel restrictions, for example, Canadian citizens, permanent residents, specific temporary foreign workers, certain international students, or direct and extended family members of Canadians, and so on. Certain Canadian provinces carry on to display hopeful declines in the number of new cases and hospitalizations. Justin Trudeau established during latest press conferences that vaccines will carry on to arrive in spite of the threat of protective measures by the European Union to restrict the export of doses overseas, and present manufacturing adjourns. Justin further restated that the Canadian government is on track to make sure everyone in the country will be able to get coronavirus vaccination by September 2021. Trudeau also mentioned that research demonstrates only 2% of coronavirus cases in Canada are because of the incoming travelers, which is indication of the effectiveness of travel restrictions. This is the end of today's video. Thanks for watching.